Hi, what's up everyone? This is Hitlari from the Mexica Movement, and I just wanted to make a quick video. I have about less than a week of a school break, so I just want to let you guys know that I'm still here, and there's a couple of things I want to let you know that we're going to be doing in the Mexica Movement. I'm very excited. We have a lot of videos that we're working on. We are actually very excited because we are actually bringing back Tezcatlipoca's Mexica Handbook that was originally written in 1995, and only about 2,000 copies were printed at the time, the very first edition. And in commemoration of our 20-year anniversary, we are reprinting an authorized reproduction or reprint of the actual Mexica Handbook. We will be selling it online for donation. All that will be on this video. I will place the link to that. And we're very excited because that's one of the most historical documents produced by the Mexica movement over the last 20 years. Well, that would be 20 years next year. But that book has completely changed a lot of things. I mean, I know it woke me up. It woke up the rest of the members of the Mexica movement. And a lot of people have read it that we may not be in contact with, but it really did change their lives. You know, it was the first time that someone had put into writing what it was to be in the journey for decolonization. Even though the organization has evolved a lot since 1995, it set the foundation to what is the Mexica movement and the courage that Tezcatlipoca has had to be able to denounce white supremacy, to be able to write out, explain, define what was Mexica. First of all, no one was using the term Mexica, so he educated a lot of us on that term and why the Mexica movement was created. And also to denounce the terms of Hispanic and Latino. It's a campaign that the Mexica movement, even before it was created as Mexica movement, has been fighting. I mean, it's going on over 20 years that the Mexica movement has been fighting this, and it's still around. It's still hard. It's still hard in the media. But the more people that are waking up, the more people that are starting to denounce those colonial terms. So it's very important that we honor that work of Tezcatlipoca and respect and give it its proper place in history. This is historical. This is something that completely changed, has completely helped someone start their decolonization process. And in that reprint of the Mexica Handbook, we will offer more updated information on the terms that we use, but also put it into context, explain all the things that has happened since 1995. So we're really excited about that. So we're going to be doing an authorized. This is with Tezcatlipoca's permission that we're going to be actually reprinting the Mexica Handbook. And like I said, that changed my life. I was about 16 years old when I read it, and I mean, I was blown away. Here I was thinking I knew what's up with world history. I had been an anti-racist punk rocker, what I would, consider back then. And, I was against racism. I was against Nazis. I was against all this, vile racism that I knew at that time, but I had no freaking idea that I myself was a survivor of the world's largest genocide. I had no idea that the terms Hispanic or Latino were strictly created for colonial purposes, strictly created to continue the killing of our identity and the killing of our people. It was completely mind-blowing to be able to sit there and read this book. It's a very short book, but it's a very powerful book. Every page in there is completely filled with knowledge. He breaks it down in a way that anybody can understand this, because that's what this is about. This is about getting our message across in clear ways and clear examples and laying out the vision of our people in a way that we can all understand. And as a 16-year-old, that book changed me. That book completely woke me up. I mean, I remember crying. I remember feeling angry. And I mean, I still have that anger, right? But I remember feeling just this sense of like you being cheated. You know, you've been cheated all your life. Your parents have been cheated. Your great grandparents have been cheated, thinking that we're the illegals to this continent, thinking that we should be thankful for America, when in reality, America is the one that has built itself, this empire of white supremacy on our continent, with our blood, with our labor, with the genocide of 95% of our people. In some cases, 100% of our people no longer exist because of the invasion of 1492 and what has happened on our continent since then. So, I mean, this is powerful information. It's powerful information that's not presented to our people. You don't find this in the history books. You don't even find this in a lot of the Chicano studies courses. It is absent. It is absent from the education of our people, even when it supposedly has to do with our culture and our history. So that's something that book should be given its proper context, and the fact that we're going to reprint it, we're very excited about that, like I said, and so that people could read it, because a lot of people have asked me, you know, where can I get a copy, or, you know, and it's hard because we have so much information out there on our website, but we're going to be surprising you guys with more information and more surprises as far as our reprint. So again, I look forward to that, and I will be posting the link when we do get that book ready, and it should be available very soon. But definitely, you know, it's something that you should have a copy of. This is definitely part of our people's history. These types of documents, these types of books, you know, it's self-published. It wasn't published by a big publishing company. This is 1,000% grassroots. You know, it's only, he created this book. He laid out the book pages, the page number, the images, the alignment of the pages. I mean, this is what he did. He did this book, you can practically say by hand, because this is what he did. He aligned everything. He put down the ideas, he laid out the book format, he went out, he printed it, and look what has happened. A lot of our people now, you know, that book has impacted over the last 2 decades, because a lot of our people are now starting to say that they're not Hispanic or Latino. We still have a lot more work to do. There's still a lot more campaigning to do, and a lot more educating that we have to do, but at least it's there. It's a historical document that represents our people that are thinking, that are waking up, that are decolonizing themselves. And that's something that I'm always going to be grateful for owning, to having that courage and that knowledge and that imagination to actually state, you know what, this is wrong. This is colonialism. This is not definitive of who we are. This has nothing to do with who we are. This is a way to keep our people oppressed. This is a way to kill off our identity. And that's exactly what those terms have been. And again, it's not just the fact that these terms are colonial. It's the physical genocide against our people. It's the physical occupation of our continent. It's the physical reality that we live in as indigenous people living on this occupied continent. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to have in your possession. The fact that we are waking up, this is a book that puts it all down. It's the very first book that has been written. A lot of people have tried to copy it, have tried to steal the ideas and the actual writings of the book. I mean, they don't even, you know, get creative. They completely just copy and paste. And I mean, come on, you know, like, how can you do something that Europeans have been doing to us? They've been copying our shit for the last 500 years, and now here we go copying and, you know, stealing each other's materials, acting like European thieves ourselves. So again, this is, you know, to also state that, you know, this book is out there. A lot of people have read it, and it's like, you know, this is an organization. It's not just a radical book that's out there sitting in the library somewhere. The man who wrote this book is alive. The man who wrote that book is continuing to write to this very day. That he's continuing to fight white supremacy, and he's continuing to write and continuing to produce new poetry, new blogs, new videos. I mean, what he wrote in 1995, it's the beginning of the foundation of the work of the Mexica movement, and you have to keep yourself updated to what we're doing now. So like I said, I'm very excited about that. I will post the link on here, but definitely something that you should definitely have in your collection, as a collection of writings of liberation for our people. So that's another thing I wanted to share with you. We're still developing Nicantlaca University. We've had some videos. We're still working on some editing, because I don't know, you guys may not realize, but there's a lot of work that goes into editing. a lot of work that goes into, the shooting of the presentations and all that. So we have Migantlaka University that you can find on here on YouTube. That university idea has been in existence since 1999, and last year was the first time that we actually, all of us, got together and actually presented it to YouTube. So that's something that we're very excited about. And our commemoration this year, this August, marks the 20th year commemoration of the Mexica movement. And here we are. Not a lot of organizations survive such crap, in 20 years, but we're here. We are here as a Mexica movement. We're not going anywhere. We're getting stronger. Our ideas are getting clearer. Our ideas are evolving. The terminology that we use is evolving. The type of material, the information that we're having access to has now been more I would say clear, more precise. So like I said, we're constantly adapting to new information. We're constantly growing. We're evolving as an organization because it is a movement. That's what happens in a movement. You continue to move. You continue to grow, and that's one of the things that I'm very proud of to be a part of. I'm a member of the Mexica movement going on 17 years this year. I've been a member of the movement for half of my life. And it's something that I plan to do until the end of my days, because it's something that I feel in my core. I feel it in my core that it's what I was born to do, and through the different projects that we do, all the members and supporters of the Mexica movement, we all contribute differently to the work of the Mexica movement. And that's something that, like I said, I'm very excited about, is to be able to, the power of telling your story, the power of print, documenting our history, making our own books, because nobody is telling our story. We need to tell our story. We need to let the world know that we are still alive. We need to let the world know that we have survived the world's largest genocide, and we are taking ownership of the media. We are taking ownership of our books. We are taking ownership of our, our video production. So we're becoming our own social media, and we're using these tools of technology, which is YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. We're using these tools as a way to continue our development, or continue our decolonization process, and continue our activism, because it's not over. The struggle against white supremacy, it's a worldwide epidemic. It's a worldwide struggle, and we as indigenous people, as Nicantlaka people on this continent, we have an obligation to make sure that our descendants do not suffer from the same bullshit that we've been suffering for the last 500 years. And we need to refine our message. We need to refine the way that we approach, that we present this information. And these are great tools. And like I said, we should celebrate the work of the Mexica movement, like we're going to be doing this year, and give it its proper respect and put it in the context of our people's liberation. The Mexica Handbook has definitely woken up a lot of our people, and it's definitely something, like I said, that we're very excited about. But I made this video a little bit too long, but anyway, just wanted to let you know I'm here. I have a week off from school, so I'm like trying to catch up on everything. But I appreciate all the support that I get, a lot of messages, a lot of comments. I really appreciate it, because like I said, I represent the Mexica movement. I belong to the collective, the Mexica movement. But I think it's important to share with you the work that we're doing, let you know what we're about, answer questions that people get, all the time, or that people ask me, so I'm always trying to find ways to make it clear, to make it accessible to our people, because none of us knew this growing up. It's not something that we were born, like Olin says, straight out the womb and understanding the concept of white supremacy and colonialism. So I find it my obligation, as we all do, and as members of the Mexica movement, it is our obligation to spread the knowledge. It is our obligation, our responsibility, to make sure that people understand this information. Our priority is our people, right? That's what we're trying to educate. But obviously, and of course, we want the whole world to also educate themselves on the truth of our history, because the whole world has also been lied to about whose land this is, about what took place here after 1492, and what was here before 1492. And that's an injustice for all of humanity. keeping the whole world from knowing and respecting and giving us a proper place as indigenous people. So yeah, way too long, but all right, I end it here. Sidari from the Mexica movement. This is an update video to let you know some of the things that we're working on, and to also keep yourselves in tune to check out the Mexica Handbook that will be being reprinted pretty soon, hopefully in the next week or so. So thank you very much for watching. Sidari from the Mexica movement.